Hey there guys, what's going on? Recently we did have the mid-season update in Modern Warfare and there's been a load of balance changes, especially to the no stock option, which has basically had to see us go through pretty much all of our class setups here and make sure that they are up to date and the best class setups they can be. If you weren't aware, they did nerf the no stock option to increase the recoil that you do get with most weapons, and it's actually quite severe. Like, you would think that when they do change things like this that it's not too big of a deal, but this is a huge deal. Most of the weapons that you could run the no stock on before, basically they're just trashed with the no stock. The recoil's too much, too hard to control. Like I said, we've had to go through all of our class setups here, change them up a little bit and make sure we've got the best class setups now. So here we do have the 10 best class setups in Modern Warfare right now after this particular balance patch. Okay, I know we said we were talking about class setups first, but we're going to talk about our perks here because they're mostly the same on any of these classes, and if it does look different, just because I haven't changed them over yet, we are running EOD, Ghost and Tracker in these particular perk slots. For most of these classes, very, very simple. The C4 and of course the Stim Shot as well. Again, these classes are in no particular order and there's no like best or first or worst class in this particular list. We've just got the best class setups right now in my opinion. So starting us off here with the granddaddy, the XRK M4. Basically, this is always going to be one of the best guns in the game. Basically, get those shots down range, sights up nice and quickly. A little bit slower than it used to be as the no stock is no good on this particular weapon anymore. So we have had to change up our class a little bit slightly with our attachments. But you know how good the M4 is, and it didn't get nerfed in this latest patch apart from that no stock, which was keeping it in the game. Like, the no stock was such a big deal for this particular weapon, but this is still a fantastic option as we have changed up our class slightly. As for our attachments, we've gone with the monolithic suppressor here for that sound suppression and about 15%, 10% increase to our damage range, which is very, very powerful here, of course. In the barrel slot, we've gone with the Corvus Custom Marksman over the stock M16 Grenadier. My theory behind this is it does give us similar sort of bonuses in terms of damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, whereas the stock M16 barrel does make us a little bit slower, but a little bit more accurate. So as we have dropped the no stock option, I feel like we can take that barrel that does give us a little bit more mobility over the extra sort of power at range. Included with this, we do have the Commando foregrip. Always hard to go past this on the M4. Basically make us very, very accurate with this. Exactly send our bullets where we want them to go. Makes it very, very easy to hit shots at those medium to longer distances with this. Merc foregrip is also a good option here, but does reduce our aim down sight speed again, so this is sort of a bit of a toss-up as to what you want to do. Commando foregrip for me to help control that horizontal recoil. We're of course taking the 50 round mags here over the 60 round mags, just because the 50 round mags do give us that more magazine ammo capacity while not reducing our aim down sight speed and movement speed too much. Again, we are always going to be a little bit slower now as we have taken off the no stock option, which was again making the M4 way too powerful. So we're going to go with the lesser option here, but still have a decent amount of bullets to fire. And lastly, we're going with this stippled grip tape here. Never a bad option to include this. We've changed out our no stock for the stippled grip tape here for that aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, making us move around the map very quickly, get those sights up again nice and quickly, making the M4 still one of the best weapons in the game. Get those bullets down range is very, very powerful. Next, moving on to what I believe is the best Kilo 141 class setup in the game right now. With this particular class setup, you can fight at most ranges. Like, you're not going to be doing fantastic work at those longer ranges, but with this, you are very, very competitive with those SMGs. Starting off with our barrel in the Stingard Arms Whisper barrel for that sound suppression and bullet velocity, as well as increasing our damage range by about 10% with this as well, similar to the effect on the MP5's barrel. Again, we're able to be very, very competitive with these SMGs at close range, and including this, we are at the FSS close quarters stock. Again, that aim down sight speed, very, very important to get those sights up nice and quickly with this particular class to be able to compete up close with those SMGs. Again, we've taken off the no stock here just because the recoil control does get a little bit too much with this particular attachment. And we're also taking the stipple grip tape here again to get those sights up nice and quickly. Sprint to fire speed, always one of the most powerful stats you can get. 60 round mags here over the 50 round mags just for those extra bullets to fire. We're already mobile and we can get those sights up very quickly as it is. So the 60 over the 50 has been chosen here. And the Merc foregrip as well, just because that extra hip fire accuracy is very, very powerful with this particular close range class setup, and the recoil control is always nice. As I said, with this particular Kilo class, you're able to fight very, very effectively up close and compete with most SMGs in the game. Moving to the newly nerfed MP5 class. So this did cop a couple of different nerfs here in which it saw its damage range reduced, its recoil control increased, the 10mm ammo's range got nerfed, There are lots of different things, and it was also struck by the same no stock or FTAC collapsible nerf that saw the other weapons as well. So as for our class setup here, we're going for a fairly similar class setup to what we had before. The 45 round mags over the 10mm option are probably the most significant change here. I think the 10mm rounds are no longer the best option, as the point of this is to increase our damage range, and that's been brought back into line. So I feel like the 45 round mags are the better option now, just for that increased fire rate. We're also taking the monolithic integral suppressor for that sound suppression and bullet velocity, again for an increase to our damage range as well of about 10 to 15%. The FSS close quarter stock over the FTAC collapsible. Again, this doesn't reduce our recoil control, which is very, very important. With the FTAC collapsible attached, it makes it very, very hard to control our weapons. We're also taking the Merc foregrip, again for the recoil control and hip fire accuracy. Makes it very easy to spray people down at close range without having to worry about sort of aiming down sight a lot of the time. And that's basically our MP5 class. Now it's changed a little bit, was struck fairly hard by the nerfs, but it's still a very, very powerful and probably still the best SMG in the game at the moment, being able to spray people down from pretty much most ranges, close and medium. Moving to what I think might actually be one of the best assault rifles in the game at the moment. Again, struck by the no stock nerf, but I feel like this particular AK-47 class is still able to do some serious work as it was previously. Starting off with the monolithic suppressor here, again, sound suppression damage range makes it very easy to pick off those long range targets. Combine this with the barrel in the 23-inch Romanian barrel. It does give us a little bit more recoil control courtesy of the bright little handle there, but damage range, bullet velocity, very, very important with this as well. Makes it very easy to pick off those long range targets, as I said. Allows us to get pretty easy shots on most people at most ranges. Instead of the no stock, we're taking the skeleton stock here for the aim walking movement speed and aim down sight speed. You can also take the close quarter stock just for that aim down sight speed. This is basically a choice you have to make for yourself, but the no stock, again, the AK-47 does already have a lot of recoil, so increasing that with the no stock is no longer a viable option here, so skeleton stock is the one we are choosing. The stipple grip tape, of course, to get that aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Again, getting those sights up nice and quickly is very, very powerful. And to round this off with the 5.45 by 39mm 30 round mag for that increase to our fire rate and recoil control. Makes it very, very easy to hit shots with this. Those bullets just absolutely fly out of the gun, and this is probably one of the best assault rifles in the game right now. Basically, that fire rate does increase our time to kill by a fair bit. Up close and sort of medium ranges, we are very, very effective with this. So this might actually be one of the best class setups in the game right now, but we'll have to wait and see here. We are going for the only shotgun on our list now, which is the VLK Rogue, which is still a fantastic option in this game. Not super struck by the no stock nerf again, because recoil control isn't something that we're too concerned about, but we can swap some of the attachments out if necessary, if the recoil is a bit much, which, I mean, it's a shotgun, it shouldn't be too difficult to control. Man, I just love the VLK Rogue, just a very powerful option up close. Starting off with our muzzle here for the Forged Tac Marauder, sound suppression, damage range, and a tighter pellet spread, very powerful option. The 16-inch Warlord barrel for that damage range and tighter pellet spread. We could take the VLK SAR over that particular option, but it does decrease our movement speed by about 3 to 4%, which for a shotgun, being very aggressive, running around, sprinting around everywhere, is not really worth it. The 5mm laser for that hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed, being able to get those sights up again. Tighter pellet spread, just very, very easy to get kills with this. We are still taking the no stock here. As I said, that movement speed and aim down sight speed is not super crucial. Like, that recoil control nerf doesn't really matter too much with this particular option, so we're skipping past that. And the Dragon's Breath rounds, as usual, the straight upgrade over the stock slugs for that incendiary damage makes it very, very easy to get close range kills with this. They just burn to death. It's very, very powerful. Moving on to our next class here, this is one that I have never revealed. This is a very, very powerful class setup in my opinion for the Ram 7. We have, of course, dropped the barrel here. We're taking off the Ranger barrel. It does make us too sluggish, as we don't really have too many sort of movement speed or aim down sight speed increasing attachments. So we've taken off the barrel. We're still rocking the monolithic suppressor though for that increase to our damage range of about 10%. The fire rate on the Ram 7 has always been the draw card for me, so 50 round mags are definitely required here. Basically increasing our maximum magazine capacity is very, very powerful, as we do shred through ammo here. The XRK close quarter stock is the aim down sight speed option here. Like, this is where we would have put a no stock if this particular option had it, but an aim down sight speed boost is very, very important for this particular Ram 7 class. The stipple grip tape, again, you know why, aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed. And lastly, the commando foregrip for that recoil stabilization, controlling the horizontal recoil from the Ram 7 is very, very important here. Getting those shots on target is very, very important. We can just spray people down. The fire rate does carry us here with this particular gun. Very, very powerful. powerful option in my opinion. The Grau 556 was another gun that was hit very, very hard by these nerfs, targeting its recoil, targeting its range. Lots of stuff was taken away from this, as well as the no stock nerf again. But I still feel like the Warzone Grau that we've got here is very, very powerful. Still in Warzone and of course in regular multiplayer. Basically, we're going with the monolithic suppressor. Again, you know why, damage range sound suppression. The FSS 20.8 inch Nexus barrel was also targeted with some range nerfs as well, but I feel like this is still a very powerful option. Again, similar to the Corvus Custom Marksman from the M4, range, velocity, and control, while not reducing our aim down sight speed or movement speed as much as the Archangel. Again, just a very powerful option here, taking the Commando foregrip to keep us on target with those horizontal recoil control, 50 round mags again instead of 60. Again, same explanation as previously. And the XRK Void 2 grip this time for the aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Does reduce our recoil control, but again, not too big of a deal, and it compares favorably to the recoil control drop that we do get from the no stock, so XRK Void 2 grip is a worthy replacement here. I still feel like the Grau 556 is going to be fairly competitive at most ranges with this, especially at those longer ranges. The recoil control isn't still too difficult to control, like it's still a very accurate weapon, but you do have to be a little bit more careful with your shots now. Moving to the newly added weapon in the Rytec AMR, I feel like this is one of the best snipers in the game right now. Being able to get one-shot kills at most ranges is very, very powerful, and you do of course have a lot of attachment options, as we did explore in yesterday's video. In our particular opinion, we are taking the FTAC 448mm Dictator barrel for that aim down sight speed and movement speed. This does reduce our bullet velocity slightly, which is a little bit of a problem, but it's not too big of a deal. If you're playing at sort of medium to close ranges, you'll want to get those sights up as quickly as possible. The TAC laser as well to get those sights up nice and quickly while reducing our sort of idle sway as we are aiming down sight. The Stovall tack wrap as well in the stock slot for again the aim down sight speed. Stipple grip tape again, aim down sight speed. And of course the focus perk just so our recoil doesn't get sent to the moon once we do get shot. Very powerful option here. Probably the best sniping class in the game at the moment. Maybe competes with the Kar 98 for quick scoping, but we'll have to wait and see, as I think this might be a little bit better. We are looking at another one of the most powerful SMGs in the game at the moment in the Uzi. With this particular option, we do have the Glacial Polish variant. There are a number of attachment options that you can rock here, making it very, very interesting to find out. Starting with the monolithic suppressor here, I feel like this is the least necessary attachment on this class. The sound suppression and damage range is pretty good here, but if you're looking for a different option, we take off the big suppressor and add like a GI Mini Reflex. It's a nice sight, replaces our iron sight, makes it very easy to hit those shots. I actually think I do like this option over just the regular monolithic suppressor option. I think this might be a little bit better, but you can sort of choose what you do like here. The FSS Carbine Pro barrel for the range, velocity, and recoil control makes it very easy for us to hit those shots, plus it looks really nice in that black and gold trim. The Merc foregrip, of course, again, recoil control and hip fire accuracy. The hip fire accuracy for the Uzi is very, very small, so you can pretty much run around and hip fire people very, very easily. The .41 AE 32 round mags allows us to get a 2-shot kill if we do get 2 headshots. Very, very easy. Damage and range here, very, very powerful weapons. Make the Uzi one of the most viable SMGs right now. And lastly, the stippled grip tape, again, aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Again, this is one of those guns that was hit by the no stock nerf, but I feel like we've made up for it here by being a lot more accurate, able to get those shots on target, while still being able to move around the map quite quickly. And last but by no means least here, we do have the CR56 Amax. Again, another weapon that was hit by the nerf bat here, basically targeted its actual damage range. That was basically it, meaning we still get a 3-shot kill at about 30 meters now, 25, 30 meters instead of like 35 plus meters, which was pretty wild previously. As for our attachments here, we're still not taking a barrel option just because I do think it does make the weapon too slow. You might be able to trade out the XRK Zodiac for the 45 round mags if you do want to make that trade. But again, monolithic suppressor for that increase to our damage range. Instead of the no stock here, we're taking the CR56 EXO stock for the aim walking movement speed and aim down sight speed. Getting those sights up nice and quickly and allowing us to move around while we're aiming very quickly is quite powerful. Commando foregrip again for the horizontal recoil, making it very easy to hit those shots. As I said already, the 45 round mags again for the increased ammo capacity, or you could take the barrel option as well if you do want to swap either of these out. It's up to you. And then lastly, the CR56 stippled wrap or the stippled grip tape for the aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. And that is our last class setup here. Basically, I think these 10 class setups here are the best options in the game at the moment right now as of this mid-season update with these big nerfs. We do have to look at these class setups a little bit more in-depth in coming videos very, very soon. So later on next week, we should have a lot of class setups for these particular weapons coming out very, very soon. And we've already taken a look at the Rytec AMR, which is very, very powerful in the game right now. But big balance changes mean big changes to most of our classes, and hopefully these still are the best weapons in the game. But I think they are very, very strong, as I've done a little bit of testing on each of these. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully these classes are very, very powerful and they allow you to get loads of kills in this game. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here, of course. We're working towards 2,100 subscribers still, and I do appreciate anyone who does click that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. Thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!